Hello. So, how is everyone? How are we doing? How are we getting on? Um, I've got a question from someone that I'm going to answer in a minute, but I'm just going to wait and see if anybody's around. If anyone has any questions that I can answer, please do give me a shout and let me know. Did you go out in your street to clap for the NHS? We did. We live in a bungalow and there's quite big gaps between our houses because it's detached. So can't really see people on our street, but we could hear lots of cheering and clapping and shouting, which was really nice. Um, so yes. Let me know. Has anyone got any questions? Anyone got anything at all they want to ask me? I do have a question here that I am going to answer that somebody sent through to me. But I thought I'd just wait and see if anyone's got anything they want to ask. How are we all doing? How are we getting on? Say hello. Let me know that you're there. Just going to see actually. I'll just share the video. It's annoying you can't share live videos on your mobile whilst they're actually live, which is a bit annoying. So yeah, questions. Tell me. How are you getting on? Do you have any questions at all that you want to ask? So this first question that I have been asked is from somebody saying, how do they stop feeling guilty? Katie, I did, yes. I went out. My sister is a nurse for the NHS, and so I know lots of her friends. And obviously all of her colleagues are, so absolutely feeling extremely grateful. And actually, I was thinking about this the other day, and no particularly at the moment, but actually, I think having a nurse in the family means that you're actually grateful all the time because you see firsthand. It does count, Lee. Opening your window and clapping counts 1,000,000%. Even if someone was laying in their bed and couldn't move and had a little clap in private, also counts. That actually, I do appreciate the NHS because I see how hard she works and how hard her friends work. And every time anything in our family happens, even if somebody's got a cut or a graze, they always want to Skype or call or go round to Auntie Jodie's. Like it's really nice having a nurse in the family, to be honest. Tell her thanks very much. I will. She's in isolation at the moment. She is also a type 1 diabetic. So she is quite high risk, as you can imagine. But yeah, it's tough times, isn't it? We're semi-rural, so I clapped in the house. Oh, that's nice. Hi from New Zealand. Hi, David from New Zealand. What time is it there then, David? I'm not sure what the time. I work with people on Skype in America and Canada quite a lot, and that's usually about between 4, 5, 6 or 7 hours different. I just wondered what time difference is there where you are. Yeah, Katie, I think we would all be lost without them. That is absolutely for sure. So the question was that I was asked, and feel free to pop any questions that you've got in the comments and I will happily come back and answer them. Has my text come on, Sari? Yep, you are there. This isn't in the private group though, you know that. This is on the main page. Only just where it says, has my text come on, Sari? That's all I've got. So how do I not feel guilty when people are out there caring for other people? Well, the feeling of guilt is like any other feeling. It still comes from your thinking. And so you must have a lot of thinking about what other people are doing, and maybe potentially some negative thinking about what you're not doing or what you are lacking in or that sort of thing. They're the thoughts that are then creating those feelings. Now, they are a waste of feelings in a way because, we've all got to do our bit. We've all got our own bit in different ways. Like at the moment, okay, I'm not at the front line supporting people, but in a way, my bit at the moment is staying home. That's what we're being asked to do. I'm not trained as a nurse. I'm not trained as a doctor. I'd be no use to anybody out there. I'm used psychologically and, after all this is settled and things like that still, but I'm not able to practically help in that way, but I just feel that, we're all doing our little bit. We're all doing what we're capable of doing, given our training and our qualifications. And just because I didn't train as a nurse doesn't mean that I'm any less valuable in my contribution to society. And this might sound really stupid, but, when I had my little walk today and people were walking at a distance, and I just really made sure that I gave people eye contact from a distance and smiled and said, "Hi, are you okay?" Like, to me, that was me doing my bit. And we can, no matter how small it might seem, to me, that is doing your bit, and that's all we can do. I think sometimes guilt can sometimes, it's almost like a distraction from other thoughts and other feelings that, again, it's us figuring out, isn't it? It's us figuring out, what's going on and how, and then you get distracted thinking, oh, there's all these people out there, which, you might be thinking like that to try and make yourself feel better, or there's people worse off because they're at the front line and stuff like that. And then there's feelings of guilt setting in, but the guilt's setting in because your thoughts are kind of, I don't know what your thoughts are because you've not told me, but I can guess that they're along the lines of, they're doing that and what am I doing? So it's more about your levels of thinking and where you're going with that, and realizing that if it's unhelpful, if it's creating feelings of guilt, then it's not that helpful. And you don't need to criticize yourself. Like right now, if you're not a nurse, it's not your time to be on the front line helping those people stay alive in hospital. Like, it's not my job. We have our jobs in the world, in society, and for some people that's being a parent, for some people that's being a partner or a loved one or a daughter or like whatever it is. We're all valid and valued in our own way. It's so scary if you read all about how you can catch corona, from parcels to walking to even going out in case you come into contact with anyone. But on the other hand, you want to keep updated. Yeah, John, well, what I do is I'm updated from the official guidelines. In fact, there's a number. Just cover your ears while I shout. I'm just going to find out. Ma! Shout at my husband. Ma! Does anyone else's voice go through them when they shout? Your own voice. Ma! He's deaf, selectively deaf. Ma! We've asked Matt to come here. He'll come in a minute. I'm going to tell you, there's a number that you can text and it gives you the official updates. If I were you, I'd just stick to that. Official. We don't need to read stories about how many people have died and who's died and how they died and what age they were and all of that. Like, that is not helpful. And I get the desire and sometimes the urge to look, because I've done the same, but I don't now. I don't, because it makes me feel like shit, quite honestly. And at the moment, feeling like shit is not helping me manage in day to day. So it's not helpful. Yes, I need to know the practical stuff. And again, this idea of risk, any kind of form of risk is really, it's about minimizing it as much as we can. So, for example, today I went to the supermarket. Like, I'm not going to go there again until I run out of stuff. Like, I wouldn't go there again tomorrow because that is then doubling my risk in the couple of days when just going once. But practically, I need to go once. I need, I've got a house of people to feed. It's about minimizing it massively as much as you can. We can't completely and utterly stay locked in a room and not touch anything or anyone. It's just impossible because we need to eat and drink and stuff to survive. But the fear is coming from the thoughts. The fear is coming from everything that we hear about and then how we internalize that in our heads. And that can absolutely 100% be lessened by what you are filling your mind with, by what you are thinking about, by what you are reading. So I would honestly advise, if that's the case, if you're feeling scared, to limit what you are reading. You only need essential information that is relevant to your individual situation. You're used to us. I think a lot of us be lost without you. Oh, thanks. My partner is a nurse working through this virus. Oh, David, hope she stays safe, and please send our love. I'm doing quite good, eating healthily, doing meditation, keeping busy, message, video my mum and siblings every day. Daughter not coping very well being away from her boyfriend and got a lot of uni work to do. She had a small breakdown yesterday. What can I say to support her? She's 22. Thank you. If you can encourage her to watch my videos herself, I would strongly advise you do that. There's plenty on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. I think you can actually click a button now on Facebook that says live videos, and you can see all the live videos on there. She just needs to understand that when she's feeling really overwhelmed and like having these, as you would call a small breakdown, is because she's getting completely overwhelmed in her thoughts of what, or how long is it going to, probably trying to control what's going to happen in her head, like how long is it going to be, when's it going to be till I see him, I feel terrible, and yet I've also got this work to do. And so her levels of anxious thinking are increasing massively. So it's about settling that mind back down and for her to realise that her feelings are created from her thinking. People are smiling more at me lately. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I've been definitely smiling at people. I mean, I'm quite a smiley anyway, and I will smile at people generally and say hello and stuff. I'm one of those annoying people who will give strangers eye contact and strike up a conversation anywhere. But I have been making a much more conscious effort to say hello and check if people are okay. Helping people, no need to feel bad, guilt, keep up the good work. Thanks, Philip. No, I don't feel guilt. I think we all have our place and I think we all do our best. I think I have the virus. I've diarrhea, tickle in the throat, no repeated cough though, and a bit of a stuffy nose, and I keep thinking I'm boiling hot, but not, and panic attacks are bad. Okay, so you are diagnosing yourself from some symptoms which could be lots of different things that lots of people have. You've got to remember, as well as the coronavirus, we've still got all the normal standard things going around that we have every single year when the weather goes from cold to hot really quick and then to cold again. And like, we have these every year. These are not unfamiliar to us. Like, we get these things anyway. So don't jump far ahead. Like, check your temperature, and if you have any concerns, ring 111, but check your temperature and check, because actually the chances are, you can go on the National Health Service website and put in your symptoms, and they'll tell you whether the likelihood of you having something or not. I actually found out today somebody I know has got the coronavirus. I've just seen a post that he's put on. That's the only person I know directly that has it, and he was in, I think, Italy and Spain very recently, maybe not Italy, Spain and somewhere else, like at the beginning of March. So, I've not come across anyone yet that's had it sort of locally, picked it up from locally from shops and things like that. I'm not saying there isn't, but not that I'm aware of. So let's, I know it's difficult. And I've had the thing where I wake up with a bit of a throat, and because all we hear about at the moment is corona, where it's kind of natural for a thought to come in and go, oh, it could be that. But leave it at that, because actually, it could be many, many things. And stressing yourself out and worrying about it, no wonder you're having panic attacks, because you're almost jumping ahead and imagining that you're going to get worse and that you're going to feel terrible, when actually, people are having little symptoms and not even knowing they've got it. So don't assume. And this is why reading all this stuff about people dying and people being really severe is not that helpful. I know people are doing it to try and scare people to stay inside, because that's what we need to do. But hopefully most sensible people are listening to that anyway. But you don't need to scare yourself. You're isolated. You don't need to scare yourself further, because actually, what about all the thousands of people who've had it and had very mild symptoms and been absolutely fine? So don't jump ahead. Take one day at a time, and don't assume that you've got something until you know. Got 2 bad days, heavy head. Just keep listening to videos, keep exploring. Paula, thank you for reading my email and thank you for your kind words. It's an absolute pleasure. Fact, I've lived with mental health and people are usually too busy to say hi. It's weird people actually being nice at anyone else feeling that way. Oh, Richard. Well, that's nice that you feel like that. As I say, I'm one of those people that will always say hello. That sometimes, interestingly, people get a bit suspicious of me because I will just say hello and strike up conversation with everyone and anyone. But maybe people will do that more now. Wouldn't that be lovely? That scares me, seeing it all on Facebook. Okay, stop reading it. As soon as I see anything now on social media that has the word corona in it, I scroll. Scroll, 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 scroll. Not interested, not going to read it, not going to fill my head with negative thoughts. Because if I fill my head with negative thoughts, I'm going to feel like shit. 283 people have the virus in New Zealand. Yeah, it's just such high numbers everywhere, isn't there? But do you know what? Again, we can't, it's sad and it's frustrating, but we can't control it. We can't individually, no matter how much reading and stuff we do, we can't control it. All we can do is our bit practically in what we're being asked to do. So that's all we can follow and all we can do. And my recommendation is that you try and live as normal a life as possible within your containment as such. Do things that feel normal. Get in the shower. She says, I was just going to say, wash and dry and straighten your hair, or put a bit of makeup on one day if you want, or put a bit of aftershave on. Do stuff that you would do if you're going out. It makes you, it can feel better because you'll have thoughts about yourself that you look a bit better. I will tomorrow do my hair. I'm not going anywhere, but it will just, my thoughts will probably change slightly because I'll just feel a little bit different in my own skin. Can I add to what? No, I'm not sure what that means. Let's have a... Trisha, no problem. If you struggle to find them, Trisha, send me a message if you like, a private message, and I will maybe point you in the right direction. Okay, so Lorraine, I have EUPD and fibromyalgia, a single mum of 4, trying to homeschool, feel like my anxiety is going crazy, trying so hard to keep calm. Okay, so first of all, well done. You are doing fantastic. You've got a lot on your plate. However, stop trying so hard, okay? Today, my nephew is living with us at the moment, and my sister, and he didn't want to do his work. He couldn't be arsed. He's not a big fan of writing work. He's only 6. He's not like, he's not doing his GCSEs or anything like that. And he doesn't like doing it. So there's no way I'm going to sit and force him to do something he doesn't want to do when we're all just trying to keep our head above water and trying to keep things as pleasant and as loving as possible. So I said, okay, we'll do home economics instead. And I gave him a list, and we made the beds and we put a wash on and we did the recycling. And he loved it. He enjoyed it. He got really into it. That to me, is just as valuable, if not more, than filling in a worksheet about whatever. So allow yourself and give yourself permission to throw caution to the wind and stick a film on, sit down and relax. It's the trying so hard to keep it all together. If you need to have a good cry, have a good cry. If you need to spend a couple of hours lying on the sofa watching a film and let your kids just potter about around you or get snuggly with you, get the blankets in the lounge, have a movie session, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be all official and all structured and all rigid. And at the end of the day, if your kids are missing bits of school, they're not alone. Everybody is. And you know what? They'll all catch up. And it's not the be-all and end-all. Yeah, they're learning so much at the moment throughout this whole virus. They're learning about resilience. They're learning about staying grounded in uncertainty. They're learning that we can't control things, but yet that we manage and we cope. To me, they are learning the most invaluable life lessons right now that no school, no nothing could ever teach them. So they're learning enough. Give yourself a break. Hi, Eric. Can you give me that site so I could ask, please? I'm not sure which site you mean. Let me know what you mean. Cried my eyes out Tuesday because so used to seeing my 2-year-old nephew on Tuesdays. Video called him was so nice. Oh, that's nice, Lisa. It is hard. I've seen my little nephew who lives literally on the same street as me through the window, and it is awful because as well they don't really understand. So he's like, come in. I'm like, we can't. Plus it's his birthday soon as well. Not going out much is normal for me. Okay, so embrace it. Scroll is definitely good advice. Thanks. Yeah, Anthony, honestly, scroll the shit out of it. Do not bother clicking on it. It's doom and gloom. It doesn't help us. It doesn't, we don't need to know the number of people that have died for us to remain safe. Like, we need to follow government guidelines and what the medical professionals are telling us to do. We don't, Joanne, yes, right, I'm going to talk about that in a second. We don't need to know who and what age and all the rest of it. Like, we don't. Honestly, we don't. Because what is that going to lead to? It's going to lead to shitty feelings. Shitty thoughts create shitty feelings. So why would we do that? Okay, so let's see. I'm a teaching assistant. You cannot replicate school, so please stop trying. Exactly what Sarah said. Enjoy the time and getting them doing nice, homely things. We did a bug hunt today. I've got 4 children too. Sarah, great. Absolutely. No, we can't. And we can't be expected to. And our children are not going to want to. Home is home. So if you can get them to do bits, great. My daughter's 12. She's pretty self-sufficient, so she has been pretty good at doing her work. My nephew is 5 and 6. He's no interest whatsoever. And it doesn't matter. So yeah, good advice, Sarah. So Joanne sent me an email with regards to nightmares, busy mind again. So I know that you suffered with nightmares, and then there was a time when they were settling, and we've discussed before about nightmares. Nightmares are still going to bed with a busy mind, whole load of thoughts, whole load of anxious thinking. And it just comes out in all sorts of weird, strange ways in your thinking when you're asleep. And we can't control the thoughts we have when we're asleep, just like we can't control them during the day. And so the nightmares have come back again, and I can understand that there's a bit of concern of you of like, oh my God, I was doing great with this, and now they're coming back again. So it just means your mind's getting busier again. It just means that you're layering on the thoughts again. Of course you are. We all are. Like, we all are. Everybody is going a little bit into overdrive. So in the same way, when you adjust and you start to settle to this, to our kind of new normal for a little while, they'll go again. Okay. And the other thing is, and I said to you originally about it, don't resist them. The more you resist them, the more likely you are to have a load of thinking about that, and then you're gonna continue to have them. So it's about embrace, let go, accept. Yeah, they're shit, you don't like them, they don't feel good, but now they're not forever, and they settle, and it's just your body and your mind's way of telling you you've got a heck of a lot on your mind. So just give yourself permission to slow down. Thanks for sound positive advice. Okay. Shot this. Schmotress and Boris is trying to. I think it's time to. Yeah, so I'm going to try baking tomorrow with them. My kids are 17, 12, 9 and 6. Okay, so use your 17 and 12-year-old to help entertain the 9 and 6-year-old. Like, it will do them no harm. I was the eldest of 5. I did a lot of getting involved with my younger siblings. Allow yourself a break. Like, get them to do it. Let them do it as a competition. Let the 17 and the 6-year-old versus the 12 and 9-year-old, and get them to bake, and you sit with your feet up and you just judge the end result, or whatever you want to do. So just give yourself permission, okay? Let the whole family muck in. Even children are also having to do things they've not normally done, and that's not going to kill them. It's going to be okay. Watch a film too and write a little film review. That's a good idea. Scrolling through. Okay. I'm not sure what site you wanted, Lee, so I've come back to see if it's there, but it's not. Okay, so as ever, the only thing I ever ask in return for doing these videos, which I'm going to keep doing, is just that you share them so that we can reach as many people as possible, so that we can support as many people as possible. So it would be fabulous if you would share it. And I will pop on again as soon as possible to do another one. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye for now.